oxygen.
Yes.
Did you know that 50% of the oxygen that we breathe actually comes from the ocean?
Yes.
So we always think about the forest, right? Plant a tree, get water in it, clean air. 50% of it is actually coming from the ocean, from seagrass beds, from the plankton. Yes. Yes, that is true. Because you don't have gills. But it's coming up and it's bubbling out of the ocean. So every time you take a breath, one is coming from land, and the second one, that's coming from the ocean. Next one. Habitats. What's a habitat?
Just a
Let's
question.
be it up with, but I don't know.
Just a question. Well, the oxygen generation, what organisms do produce?
Very good. So those are our producers, our photosynthetic organisms, like our seagrass, some marine algae that have chlorophyll, plankton as well. So phytoplankton, that's really tiny microscopic plants. But 3 years ago, scientists have found that there's a new source of oxygen. Have you guys heard of? Have you guys heard of deep sea mining? Yes. Right. So it's these polymetallic nodules that have minerals that you're gonna use to like circuitry and all these things. Guess what? Those polymetallic nodules actually emit a gentle electrophoresis. But they do electrophoresis, meaning that they have a current that causes the H2O molecule to split and therefore releasing oxygen. So for years and years we've always thought that, oh, oxygen comes from our producers, from our plants. It turns out oxygen also comes from the deep sea, from the very things that we want to mine for our circuitry. Yeah. There are volcanoes, and some of those volcanoes called sea mounts and sea vents have a lot of those metallic crusts and nodules. So the same things that made it have oxygen, they have lots of it.
And we have one between Renata and Civis.
Very good. Anybody else name?
So very
Okay, don't get any of it. Right. Okay, I got one.
Personally, those chicks and points are on the same point of the Titan. The initial about the initial. I don't know if you get that. That's the initial, but bleaching.
Oh,
So,
bleaching, yes.
the department and department and how would that affect
Okay. Is it connected to the plankton?
your party?
So bleaching happens when the temperature, usually it's a temperature problem, but it can also be from other environmental stresses like chemicals or overpollution. Basically, in the coral there's a plant and an algae that is an animal and an algae. Algae helps to make food for the animal planet, coral polymer. What happens when water gets too hot or too full of chemicals? It stresses the coral animal out and it causes it to spit out the algae that lives inside of the coral. And what happens is, because these two organisms live together, it goes down the coral, it goes as salt, starts with an S. When symbiosis is very good, because they're so closely connected, when they spit out the algae, it causes the coral not to clean itself and it will eventually die. If the temperature comes back down and stress will go away, the algae might move back in. They might get different algae or a combination of algae move back in the coral and then continue to feed the coral and then it will cement. But if it goes too long without that algae, the coral will die.
So the algae and the algae about the insects, right?
Yes. Yes.
So when the algae collision with the coral,
Very good question.
how does the algae?
So the algae would still live if it's outside. It could live for a good while. So it's still be able to produce oxygen. But if it does not move back into the coral, the lifespan is not as long, so then eventually they will die.
How would that affect?
I haven't seen any correlation so I don't know. I can't indirectly, yeah, it would contribute to some loss of production.
What?
Yeah. Okay, so habitat. Creatures live in ocean habitats in various systems like seagrass, beds, and coral. Next. coastal protection. Our seagrass beds and our coral reefs and even our mangroves, they act as buffers against wave energy. So they actually act as natural breakwaters, protecting our coastline from erosion. Next. Carbon storage, we mentioned it for the larger organisms, but also our habitats like our seagrass beds, coral reefs and mangroves, they're like 30-something times more efficient than the rainforest. So we refer to these systems as deep carbon.